Well, I don't know what happened. Okay, so you'll have to join this stream. Well, I don't know what. So you'll have to join this stream. Well, I don't know. Well, we'll give it a few minutes for some of them to arrive. Well, we'll give it a few minutes for some of them to arrive. I'll be right back. Okay, we're going to get started here. Sorry about the failure of the excuse me. We're going to get started here. Sorry about failure of the So everybody knows that in the know that the Nikon Z6iii is supposed to be officially excuse me, announced on Monday. And I've been reading a lot of rumors and a lot of specifications on it. And for the most part of this year, I've been really excited to see this camera come out. But I've been looking at some of the specifications, and I guess we really won't know until Monday. But to me, I mean personally, I have been waiting for this camera, and it depends on the price of this camera. But to me, the specifications are more about speed when you compare it to the Z6iii. Now, there would be some advantages to it from what I'm reading about the autofocus system. And it's not going to be a Z8 or a Z9, that's for sure, but it's going to be better than a Z6iii. Well, personally, I'm happy with my Z6iii, and I haven't used it in quite a while. It sits over here on a tripod. I used to use it for streaming, and I've taken a lot of landscape photographs with it. So depending on what the price of the Z6iii is going to be, and everything else that goes along with it. So some of the stuff I've been reading about, I'm going to flip over here for a second and pull up some stuff off the Facebook pages. I'm sure y'all been reading the same thing I have. This is unheard of. I mean, Nikon has done something here they've never done before. I've never known them to put a teaser out for a pre-release, and I really was kind of expecting something to happen this weekend. So let me see here what there's a new Facebook page out that's dedicated strictly to the Nikon Z6iii. It is called Nikon Z6iii. and in parentheses they got Z6iii Mark III or Z6 Mark III. It's run by some woman. I can't remember what her name was, but they have some pictures up there today. Some people have taken some photographs, and let me see if we can pull this up here. Let's see. There's been so much chatter about this thing, and I never knew what to believe because I didn't even know if it's going to make it out or not. I figured we were going to be stuck with the Z8. Anyway, some of the stuff they're talking about, I can't pull it up right now. I'm having a lot of technical difficulties. I need more practice on these live streams. There we go. Well, it's funny, she's got links on here to Adorama and B&H for pre-orders. So here's what they're actually saying. Hey Rodney, how you doing? All right. Woody. Woody, when I'm retired, I'm coming up there. I want to see some of those Eagle releases. Rodney's going to drive over here to Tennessee, and I'm going to drive him up there. Hey Rodney, I had an idea before David or any of them show up. I had an idea maybe next year grabbing David and coming over there to see you and get Aaron there. I'd like to go shoot with all three of you guys out there wherever it is in Arkansas you're at. So here's what they're saying. It's still going to be a 24 megapixel sensor. I think that's a great thing. If they had come out with a 33, it might have been a little bit better, but I get it, okay? It's going to have a new processor engine in it, the XP7. That's questionable. Heck, it might be the XP8, who knows? It's got a lot of new video stuff in it, which is great. You know, I do video too, but that's not the main reason I have a camera. The updated focus algorithm, which says it's supposed to be better than the Z8 or Z9. I don't know what that means. 100% autofocus coverage of the frame. That means the whole frame is going to have autofocus points on it all over it. So the full frame of what you're seeing is you can move that focus point anywhere you want. Most of it, you know, is new stuff. I'm not too sure what it's all going to mean. I would expect on Monday, by Monday evening, you're going to see the big hitters with their reviews come out. Jared Polin from Frono's Photo, he'll be out. Hudson Henry will probably be out. Steve Perry will probably hit it. So I'm going to wait. It's not going to be available to get until July anyways, or August. So I've got my money saved up, but I'm holding on tight to my money right now to see what it is going to be, okay? Right now, I am very pleased with my Z8, okay? So I got one here from the Pacific Northwest, Mount St. Helens. Do me a favor, please. Tell me your real name. I like to know people's real names when I'm dealing with them on my subscriber list and stuff. So I know it's K26KV. I don't know what that is. Is that a ham license? Anyways, that's enough about the Z6iii. Unless you guys got something you want to add. What do you thinking you might pick up one? I don't know. I know Rodney's still waiting for a D500 replacement, and I am too. If they came out with the Z52 Mark II and it was good, you know, it only has to be about 10 frames per second to be good for me. I don't need 20 frames per second. Crop sensor body, that might be an option instead of the Z6iii. Like I said, I still got the Z6 II. So my main camera bodies now are the Z6 II, the Z8, and the D500. Those are my three main bodies, and not counting my junky D200 or my really junky D70, which I don't even take out anymore. Right? It's more or less on the shelf here, and it's a nice camera. It's only 6 megapixels, but this was the one that was given to me, and it takes a CF Express card, which there's one in it. Okay, 1 gigabyte. 1 gigabyte. But you can get a lot of pictures on it, that's for sure. Anyways, the D200 has been something I've been playing with lately. So I got, this is the D200 right here. I bought this from a friend of mine last year. He had it in a box, didn't shoot with it anymore. And I just happened to mention to him I was looking for one to play around with, because this is a 10 megapixel. So he said, well, I got one for sale if you want to buy it. So he brought it into me, and I looked at it, and real low shutter count. I mean, it was like, there's not a scratch on it, okay? I mean, this is a 15-year-old camera. He didn't have any lenses with it, so I picked up a 12 to 24 f4DX lens, which I have owned one of these before when I had a D7500. Now, my D7500, when I bought it, the D500 was out. But I bought the D7500 because it was cheaper and had the same sensor in it, had the same everything except the frames per second was slower, and the, what was I going to say, the focus points. There was not as many focus points as the D500. But that was okay. The D7500 was an excellent landscape camera, okay? And I sold it eventually, and I had the 12 to 24. That was my main lens on the D7500. Well, now it's the main lens on my D200. And I'm going to try to show you some photographs tonight of some photos I took with the D200 and this 12 to 24. And I'm going to see if I can get this accomplished on here. Let's see, where am I? Oh, I don't know why I put this up. Let me get my tablet going here, because I need to watch the live stream while this is going on. I put it up because I was reading the specs. Okay, so let's catch up on the comments. So the Z8 was too much for your computer to handle. Okay, I get it. Them big files. I've got a MacBook Pro M1 chip. It's only got 16 gigs of memory in it, 1 gigabyte SSD drive, and I run on a network drive my files. And you can tell the difference on those 45 megapixel files, that's for sure. Let me see if I can pull something up here. I don't know if you can see this or not. Let's find out here in a minute. I switched over to Lightroom here. Give me a second, please. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm showing you here is Lightroom. Can you still hear me? That's the important thing. Can you still hear me? I've switched over to Lightroom so you can see these photographs. You got to realize there's a delay between when I talk and when you guys respond, so I have to kind of wait for you to type. And I can watch the live stream on my tablet here, and I can tell what you're seeing. So it looks like you're seeing it. I can probably turn my volume up and see. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let me show you some photographs here. Okay. All these photographs. First off, these photographs I shot for a photo contest for our camera club. Once every other month we have a photo contest, and they're themed. This in July, the theme is dilapidated architecture, okay? And I think what they really want is some old buildings, okay? But I kind of just do my own thing. So you're allowed, so K26KV, your name is Kath or Kathy? Kath? Anyways, I'm going to show you these photographs, okay? So I'm going to go full screen. This is one I took with the D200, okay, and the 12-20. All these photographs that I'm about to show you were taken with the D200 and the 12-24 lens I just showed you, okay? And they have been edited. This one here was an old sign at an old abandoned gas station, and I chose this kind of retro, old-fashioned look, you know, that kind of stuff. The settings for that was 1/400th of a second at f8 at ISO 200. Now, the D200 does pretty well up to about 400 or 500 ISO, and then it gets real noisy. But you know, today's software, you can handle that. I was shooting it the other day. I did a video the other day, a walk around of Harriman, Tennessee, and it's in the channel if you want to see it. And Rodney made a comment about I was shooting with my microphone right here while the camera's at my face, and you could hear that shutter click. In fact, listen to this. This is like, I don't know, it's like sex. Okay, ready? Let's see if I can get this thing to, I got to focus first. Hear that? Let me do that again. Let me put it on burst. Okay, this is high speed. I mean, that just sounds like a big old hammer inside there. But that, you know, when you hold a camera like that, and you're out shooting, and that thing clicks like that mirror slaps. Oh man, I just love that sound. I know Rodney does. He said so. Anyways, this is one photograph I took, and then this is another one. Now these were all done in color, and I converted them to black and white because yeah, it is a nice sound, Rodney. I converted it to black and white because, well, the brick was all red mainly, so I didn't see any use in showing all that. And this one here is a little different. I left it in color. Now this one here is one that I entered in the contest. Now the contest is like this. You can put 3 images in the contest to be judged. And then we have an exhibition that goes along with it where you put 3 images of whatever you want in there. And they are not judged. They're just for people to show off their images. This one is in for judging, okay? And I chose this one because of the 2 chairs and the cabinet that are sitting outside, okay? And I'm pretty sure you can see that. Is that full screen? You guys looking at that full screen? I don't see full screen. Yeah, not seeing it full screen here. Because of the 2 chairs and the cabinet that are sitting outside. Anyways, that's one I took with the D200 and the 12-24. You know, I wonder about that. Let's see. That might have been with something else. Yeah, that was with the 12-24 lens. Okay. I don't know why it's showing full screen. This is another one I took during that downtown walk, and I've entered this one into the contest too. And I had some comments about it. Several people kind of liked that in that video, so I thought, well, maybe it'll be judged right. I don't know. This is another angle of that. This is on the next day. I went back on the next day, and I took the Z8 with the 24-120 with intentions of using that, but I ended up using the D200 with the 12-24. And this one here, I left the color, I masked this out. I left the color in the pickup truck with the orange lights and what have you, but I turned everything else to black and white. And that's really easy to do. Anyways, that is those pictures. And like I said, the D200 is still a good camera. If you can find a good used one for less than $100, I'm gonna tell you something, I am ashamed of myself because I stole this for $50. I got $100 in the lens. So it's $150 in this camera total, okay? I found a used Really Right Stuff L bracket made for the camera, okay? Used from KEH for about, I don't know, it's like $30. So I'm all set up. I'm gonna use this for landscapes, okay? 10 megapixels, you don't need anything bigger than that to post on Facebook. Anyways, that's the D200, the old junky camera. You know, something David was talking about last night that really caught my attention when he was talking about it. He was talking about the 18 to 55 kit lens. Now, that goes really well with a crop sensor body. You can put this on your D500, you can put it on that D200, or whatever you got, and it's a crop sensor lens. It's very sharp. It's a very capable lens. And it's just all around, this is a used one I paid $60 for. All around, this has got VR. There's VR right there on the, let me get it right up there, VR, okay? And you can turn the VR off and on. It's got another switch for autofocus and manual. But for a DX camera, this body, to put this on a body or a DX body, this is a really nice lens. And what's really nice about it, it takes a 52 millimeter filter. Now them things are dirt cheap, okay? It ain't like our big 77 millimeters and 82 millimeters. So this is a really capable lens. Now the one that goes with it, the sister to it or the brother to it, and it came in the kit form too, was the 55 to 200 VR lens, okay? Now there are several flavors of this lens if you're thinking of picking it up. And what you want to do is look for that VR right there to say being red. They did sell a version of this that did not have vibration reduction. It also has a switch for VR. So if you're going to buy a 55 to 200, pay attention to what you're getting. It also uses a 52 millimeter thread. So you put this with the 18 to 55 on a DX body, and you got a pretty good compact travel kit. You know, you put these two together like that. I'm holding them in one hand. Get you a D500. Like, you know, this is a D200. We get a D500 and put your 500 phase Fresnel on there, and you got all worlds covered right there. You got wildlife, landscape, all on one body. So don't sell your D500s, okay? I'm not selling mine. I'm keeping mine forever. Anyways, one of the other things I wanted to talk about tonight was the performance of the Z8 with the 500 PF, okay? And I know there's a lot of people, let me catch up on this. Okay, Kath. Okay, good to know. All right. So there's some things that I have found out using the Z8 with the 500 PF. One of the things, and I'm sure it's because of the FTZ adapter, is when you're shooting, your exposure is a little bit darker than you would normally expect using another Z8 lens. And that's really easy to fix. You know, you just dial in some ISO or dial it out. Me too, Woody. I am not getting rid of my D500 or the 500 PF. But anyways, I've been trying the 500 PF with the Z8. And I have found that it's very good. It's very quick, it's very snappy, and it's very clear. Now, my 500 PF, my copy, I think, I don't know if you guys have studied this auto tuning stuff, auto fine tune your lens. I had to perform that on the D500 body for the 500 PF. So my copy of my 500 PF is at, I've got it set at -7 on the autofocus fine tune. And Steve Perry has a video about that, how to do that, and it's really interesting to do and see if your lens does need some tweaking. Now -7 might not mean a whole lot, but I did notice a difference when I did the test chart. And what he does, you can get on Steve Perry's site. He has a whole video about this, and he's got a link to a test chart, and he tells you how to do this. So it's very specific the way you do the auto fine tune. And that auto fine tune feature is available in the D500, the D850, and I've also found it in the Z8. It's in there too. I have not done it for the 500 PF. I'm thinking about it because personally I think my problem is with the lens, not the camera bodies, okay? Because this is the second D500 that I've had, and I've had to do it both times to both of them, and both times it was -7. So I think it's the lens that's maybe, and Steve explains this about the manufacturing process. Your camera's made over here, the lens is made over here. They don't ever meet each other until you buy them, and there's going to be some differences in the way they match up, okay? So it's something to look into if you've got a 500 PF and a D500, and if you think that maybe your images aren't as sharp as they should be, okay? Personally, I think mine are okay now. Well, I didn't think you needed it with mirrorless either. So Woody, the setting is in the camera body itself. So the D500's setting for that lens is -7. I have not changed the Z8. Okay, I've been shooting the 500 PF with no changes to the autofocus fine tune. From what I understand, the feature is in the Z8 for a reason. Okay, so I don't know. I have read where some people have fooled with it. And gotten some better results. Anyways, back to the testing of the 500 PF and the Z8. I found that the focusing is very quick, very snappy. I've been comparing my shots to the 180 to 600. Personally, I'm going to have to give the 180 to 600 a little bit of edge over the 500 PF when using it on the Z8. And I'm probably going to say that it's probably because the 180 to 600 is native Z lens, and it's probably made for the Z8, I would say. But it's a little bit different. Not enough to make a difference to me, but I have noticed some differences, okay? And I'm going to show you some images here in just a second of some of the ones I took with the Z8 and the 500 PF. Well, you know, that's okay. Mine was set to 0.2, Woody, and as long as you don't notice anything, you know, sharpness issues or anything, but I did, and the copy of my 500 PF is my original copy. So, you know, I don't think I really needed to do the -7, but I did it, and I'm happy with it, okay? It works pretty good. Let me see if I can get this, I'm trying to get this display back. Okay, I'm going back over to Lightroom, I think. Let me okay, this here is an image I shot with the Z8 and the 500 PF, okay? And this is a male and female pair. I was focused on the upper bird. Well, I wish I could get that full screen. Let me try something else here. You really need to see this in full screen. Let's see if we can do this. See what that looks like. I've got to do more practicing with OBS. I don't do it enough to, I just know enough to get by on this live streaming stuff. But anyways, the male bird is on top, and that's where I was focused at. In this particular shot, the sky was brighter, so the bird was darker. So I had to do some adjustments to it. And let's see if we can, I don't think I can show you those. I can't. This is a JPEG file, so I can't show you that. Now this right here was done, these are all handheld, by the way, no tripod involved. This was here's 1/1600th of a second, this flower at f5.6, and the ISO was 900, okay? And I thought it was a really sharp picture, which you could see. And you can see how sharp that lens is. And the color on it's pretty good. On the Z8, we're on the Z8, and these are all at full frame mode, because I'm going to show you some that were done in crop sensor mode, and you can see the difference in them. This one here, this bluebird with the worm, this was out in my backyard. It was done in crop sensor mode. So I was playing with the Z8, switching it between DX and FX field of view. And it's a slight bit of difference, but I was trying to simulate what the D500 would have done in its crop sensor mode with the Z8. So I switched the Z8 into DX mode so I could get the same field of view from both cameras. And I actually did not compare the two cameras shot to shot. I just gave up on that. I tried to do that one day. I had the lens mounted on a tripod on its foot, and I was switching camera bodies and trying to take the same bird picture, and the bird would fly off before I got changed. So I wasn't able to get like two complete comparisons of the Z8 and the D500 to show you. Now this one here is a full frame of this shot. And I don't know, it's pretty close. It's probably about 15 feet from me. I sit on my back deck sometimes, and I've got things that are just on the hand railing. And I actually cheated. I actually put some bird seed down in that little watering tin. So that nuthatch was coming up there and getting those seeds out, you know. But that's a pretty sharp picture. Let me see if I can get that zoomed up for you. I don't think I can. No. Anyways, now these next two photographs, this one here is where you can actually see the difference. This was shot in DX mode. This one was shot in FX mode. I'm going to show you that again. This is DX and that's FX, okay? And you can see the difference in that shooting in DX mode. Now, some of you will probably say, you know, why would you buy a 45 megapixel camera to shoot it in DX mode? Well, for the focus system. But let me tell you something. I bought the Z8 for its croppability, okay? I'd always looked at the Z6iii, I'd always looked at the D850, thinking that I wanted one of those bodies because of the high megapixels. I thought, well, you know, I could crop it a lot more, having more megapixels. So my idea behind this camera is when you need it, you can switch it into DX mode and get a little bit closer punch in on your subject. You know, it sounds crazy, but that's just my thought. That's the way I think. So being able to shoot it in DX mode gives you a bigger punch in. So you take the 500 PF and mount it to the D500, you've got a 750 millimeter field of view. You put it on the Z8 in FX mode, you're at 500 millimeters. So some people say it's not enough reach. So now they're going out and they're buying the 600 PF, and now they want to buy the 800 PF, okay? And I can't afford that stuff, okay? I'm pretty much tapped out. I'm at the limit where I'm going to be. The Z8's going to have to last me till I die, probably. I don't think I can afford another camera body, especially after December when I retire. Anyways, one more time. This is the DX of this picture, and this is the FX of this picture. Now, this one here caught me off guard. So my focus setup for the Z8 is, well, I've got a button programmed. I'll tell you about that in just a second. But this particular shot right here with these Killdeer was with 3D bird detect, 3D tracking, bird detect, eye detect. So they were flirting around and fluttering around. There was two of them. There was a pair of them. And they just happened to come by me, and I started tracking them, and I just kept my finger on the focus button, and I wasn't even sure if they were in focus or not. Now, they're not a real good shot. They're a butt shot, a rear shot. You can't see their face, but I have checked, and they are in focus, okay? It did latch onto them, and it did capture this with the 500 PF. So I was very happy because this is one of the few times that I have done birds in flight, and these are little birds, and they're fast, and I was able to get a sharp image from a birds in flight photograph. So I was kind of happy with that, okay? The way I've got my camera set up, when I'm in photo mode, I have programmed my movie record button to cycle through the focus modes that's in the camera. Now you can go into the menu and uncheck some menu options and not get so many. I only have 3 checked. That is single point focus, that is 3D bird detect, and then I use a custom box, and someday I'll get into that. But you're holding on to the camera button, camera grip, and you put your finger on that button and tap it, it moves from one to the other. So I can switch from 3D, and I can uncheck the other box and just have the 2, which would be single point and 3D bird. Because most of the time when you're shooting perched birds, you're going to shoot single point. I mean, there's no sense in having 3D tracking on. You might as well just put the focus point on the bird and shoot away on a perched bird. So you only need the 3D tracking on birds that are moving. So you program this button, this movie record button, to push it, and it cycles through these different focus modes that you have defined that you want to use. That is really cool, okay? And one other thing, back to the DX and FX, I programmed function button number 2 on the grip, on the front, to switch between FX and DX. So while I'm holding my camera up to my eye, if I want to go to DX mode, I don't have to pull out and look at a menu. I just push my finger on that button and it switches to DX. Push it again, it goes back to FX. So that just makes you a little bit quicker shooter. So I've been playing with that too, okay? Pretty cool, these Killdeer. I was able to get them in focus. And here's a yellow-breasted chat, okay? And to me, they're just a really cool bird, okay? They sound really cool. Hold on one second, I'll be right back. I want to get my phone. So I use the Merlin app, and for those of you that don't have it, it's a really cool bird app put out by Cornell. And anyways, I'm going to let you listen what a yellow-breasted chat sounds like. Turn the volume up here so you can hear it. So here's one of its songs. Isn't that cool? How them birds can make that sound? It's really cool. It's like, and if you listen to the bird calls, they go like through a progression. Like a cardinal, they have a call. It starts out with one. Let me show it to you. Let me let you listen to it. I'll sit here and analyze these things. It's pretty cool to listen to. Hear that? So that's one way cardinal calls. But another one, let's see if I can hear it here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Hear that? 5. He's calling 5 times. Now 6. So they start off with one chirp. And then the next is 2 chirps. And then the next is 3 chirps. And it keeps going like that. So I was listening to the cardinals one day in the backyard calling each other. And I noticed this, that one bird would start out, he would do 1 chirp and then 2 chirps. And then he did a whole series all the way up to 7. And then he started all over again. So isn't it wonderful what God has given us with birds? I mean, birds are just really cool, okay? Anyways, let's go back to looking at these other pictures I got. And this last one here, this is a female yellow-winged blackbird. Yeah, yellow-winged blackbird, excuse me. There is no such bird. Red-winged blackbird, this is the female of that. Okay, this was shot in DX mode, okay, and this one here was also, the background was really bright, which made the meter get fooled, and I use matrix metering, and I usually dial in about, I don't know, 0.3 or 0.7 overexposure when I'm shooting like this. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't, okay. But Lightroom is really good about pulling this stuff out, okay? So I just wanted to show you those pictures that I had tonight from the Z8. And I'm really happy with that camera, okay? Let me switch this off. I'm really happy with that camera, and it's really a nice body. And I'm glad I bought it. Right now, I got an email from, yes, Rodney, it drops in pitch. I got an email today from Nikon. They came out today with a sale on refurbished units, okay? And what I thought was really interesting, okay, on their refurbished units, this is 4 days only. It started today. They are selling a refurbished Z9 body for $44.99, $1,000 off. The Z8 body refurbished is $31.99. You listening to me, Rodney? A refurbished unit. And you know what a refurbished unit from Nikon means. It comes out and it's like brand new when it comes back to you, okay? It's $300 off at $31.99. They're selling a Z2, $18.99. These are bodies only. And then they got a Z6iii body only for $13.99 refurbished. So those are really some pretty good deals, okay? If you was looking for a second body like a Z6iii, I would get one, a refurbished one, because I've had refurbished stuff from Nikon before, and they go through it like brand new. It comes to you like brand new. So was it last year? Yeah, last year I had a 700, this is a story. I had a 700 to 200 2.8 Z mount lens, and it took a plink, okay? I talked about that in one of my previous videos. It fell over on the tripod. Well, it hurt the lens. I took it and put the camera, I put the battery back, the battery fell out of the camera and everything. I put the battery back in the camera, you know, checked the memory card, turned it all back on, and did some focus testing. Well, I did notice there was some problems with the focusing with the 7200. So something got knocked loose. Plus it dented the front filter ring. And that's a good reason to always put a lens hood on your lens, so that will take the impact and not the metal part of the filter ring. Anyways, I sent it back to get it fixed, and the major repair on that was $800, okay? The point of this is this: when it came back from Nikon, it was like brand spanking new. I wouldn't even have known it was not. I checked the serial number. It was my lens. It was the one I sent in, but they cleaned it all up, made it look like brand new when it came back. So anyways, that's, you know, some of what Nikon does on their refurbished stuff too. They're selling the 70 to 200 2.8 Z mount, okay, which is normally, when I bought mine, it was $26.99. It's come down to $22.99, and this refurbished model is $19.99. That's a pretty good deal right there for a 7200 f2.8. They're selling 24 200s on sale, the 35 1.8, and then they got a DX lens that's on sale for $300. Anyways, this is a 4-day sale from Nikon, so I think they're getting ready for the Z6 III to come out. And I've been getting these emails because I subscribe to Nikon now, and they've been sending me these emails. So this just came out today. Anyways, I guess we'll all get to see on Monday what the Z6 III is. I won't keep y'all any longer. I've been on here long enough now. I just wanted to get on to do a live stream because I haven't done one for a while. And obviously I need more practice. So I may have to do a couple private practices because I really need to get this Lightroom stuff down where I can show you full screen some of these photographs, because that wasn't a good comparison tonight. Anyways, okay, well, I'm going to get off here, and thanks for coming by tonight, and I'll catch you guys later. And I don't have any videos in the pipe right now. I'm kind of in a dry spell. I've been trying to catch up on some of my honeydews around the house. I'm trying to finish my deck handrail, and I had to mow the yard today, and I had to go get some lumber at Lowe's with my dad. And you should have seen us two old farts trying to load two 16-foot 6x6s. I don't know how much they weigh, but they are a lot heavier than I remember them be. Anyways, we'll see y'all later. Thanks for coming by tonight. Talk to you later. Night, Pam.